white for the reflection of the light, and it also gives the image of the cleanliness to the mind, and that's the reason why the walls are painted white. And even now today in modern mines they are still doing the same thing. But now this is the only portion that is painted with white. As we move on, the walls are no longer painted. This is just the part of demonstration. And electricity down the mine was brought down in 1929. From 1909 up until 1928, they were using candles for light.
Okay.
And this area is called the crosscut. The rock from the crosscut is not processed for gold. This is just the tunnel that they dug just to get to the ridge where the gold was waiting. And I will show you the richest part of the mine as we move on with the talk. The water pump, and they used to pump out water from underneath up to the mine. Water plays a very important role. They wash walls and to cool down the dust, because dust was their biggest problem after using explosives. And these pipes can pump out 4,000 liters of water per hour. But the water was also mixed with chemicals to get rid of natural gases. So they were not allowed to drink it because it's poisonous. And the dust gives rise to the disease known in early days as typhus, but now it's called silicosis. That's why water plays a very important role underground.
How much you said this is the depth of this mine?
To the depth of last level.
Yeah, last level?
3.2 kilometers.
3.2 kilometers. Okay.
The dynamite box, and it holds 50 kilograms of dynamite, and it must be kept locked at all times. There was specifically qualified miners to handle the box. Now you see the roof, it is not flat, it is made out of wood, and it is slippery. The reason why to prevent workers to put candles on top of it. And Alfred Nobel, he was from Sweden. He is well known about the Nobel Peace Prizes, and he invented dynamite in 1866. As I say, his name is written right in this box. And dynamite were brought underground in wooden box like this one. But now in operating mines, they are no longer blasting with dynamite, they are blasting with impulsives. Impulsives are more safer than dynamite. Impulsives are plastic explosives.
Okay.
Right now, on this mine, Crown Mine, there were a lot of people who were coming from different countries. And all of those people, they were speaking different languages. So it was very, very hard for those people to communicate. So what they did, they formed their own language, which is called Fanagalo.
Which one is Fanagalo?
Fanagalo, yes. Fanagalo contains 80% of Zulu, 20% of English, Afrikaans, and Xhosa. It is mixed with South African language. You only take 21 days, 3 weeks to learn the language. It has only 2,000 words. And even now, today, in operating mines, they are still using Fanagalo. But Fanagalo is a South African mining language. Fanagalo has no grammar, and Fanagalo is studied in this mine. And it is written right in those posters. Lo pikinini neba yena as enza wena kula hamba lapha first aid, and that means scratches can lead to infections. Get to the first aid. Pasoplo pam kalomalisha, and that means you must wash out for a loader boom. And this is the shift boss office, a man who was in charge for the workers' shift. It was also used as a first aid station, the shift boss chair, and the miner's boss. So all workers working in this mine, they were having cards with their names, photos, and numbers. It's like a clocking card. If it's time for a shift, you'll hand in your card to the shift boss and you'll go straight to work. At the end of a shift, you come back again and the shift boss will hand out your card. And that was the easiest way of counting them whether all in or out by using the cards. It's like a control system.
These pipes which we can see is for what? Lighting?
Compressed air and electricity.
Okay.
The cocoa pen, it's called Ingolovane with Fanagalo, and the cocoa pen takes 1 ton of rocks, and this is the 1 ton, and out of this 1 ton in this mine, they used to produce 4 grams of gold. which is the size of my fingernail. And for the miners to produce 1 bar of gold, which is 12 kilograms, they must get 3,200 tons. So that means 8 of these copper will produce 1 ounce kruger rand. And they were also using study board in this biggest calculator. As you see, that is in the row of 10 for each counting, and they were counting the number of copper pens. And the reason why, there were no schools in olden days. They didn't know how to count, so this was the easiest way for them to count that how many copper pens have been sent to a station per shift.
Okay.
Okay, please from here mind your head, because now we'll be using the short tunnel.
Yeah.
What did you
Your head can hit. The height is less. Height is less here. Yeah. This place is okay. How we get the oxygen here?
Come down.
Come down, okay.
And the skeleton pack, now as you see that the shape is like a skeleton, and the skeleton pack is the roof supporter to prevent the rockfall, and it is from the tree known as blue gum or eucalyptus. That takes 27 years to mature. Well, it's a hard-grown tree, but it's not our indigenous tree, it's an Australian tree, and they were imported in South Africa in 1920, especially for the mine support. And even now today in operating mines, they are still using blue gums, but in operating mines, they add concrete to make it more stronger. Right, and starting from here now, everything is different smell in this area, and if you can shine the light over to the side, what you will see is that the shape of the tunnel is also different. So this area is called the reef intersection. The reef intersection runs 35 degrees angle from north to south. The reef intersection was the richest part of the mine. It is the area where they discovered a lot of gold. And the reason why the shape runs like this is that the Kimberley Reef, which was mined at this level, runs 35 degrees. Now they just follow the layers of the reef by blasting. So as I'm saying that this area was the richest part of the mine, and this is the rock that we're mining. It's called the Kimberley Reef. It's a rock that was discovered by George Harrison on the surface. There are white quartz in this rock and the black pebbles. And the more black pebbles you get in the rock, the more gold you get. The gold is here in this black, they call it pebbles. So the gold is in this rock, but now you cannot see gold with your eyes because it's invisible. It is not like alluvial gold that they used to pen it. And this rock will be blasted with dynamite to be sent up to the surface by using a skip. The rock will be crushed into a very fine powder. They will add water, chemicals like sulfuric, sunlight, and zinc, and then they'll burn it. But out of the whole process, this rock will produce 88% of gold, 10% of silver, and 2% of base metals with zinc and copper. So all I'm saying is this gold mines doesn't also produce gold only. There are some of the minerals also produced by gold mines, smaller platinum mines.
कोई बताओ
Now, as I was saying that this area was the richest part of the mine, and right here the gold has been mined out. So what you see here now is the slope, and the slope goes up straight to the first level. Some of the workers used to climb here to go to each and every level above this level, but going to the first level they end up crawling because the level is small. And because this area was also their working area, so they had to make sure that they must install a lot of supporters to prevent the rockfall. As you see, all these timbers here are the roof supporters to prevent the rockfall. But now this mine, of course, this one here that plays a very important role. It is called the policeman, and at the bottom it is sharp as a pencil. The reason why it's sharp, if the roof wants to collapse, then this timber will feel the pressure. It will crack at the bottom and expand. And it's a timber that communicates with workers that the roof wants to collapse, then they must install a lot of support. And that's the reason why they name it policeman. Then for the roof inside, they introduced this roof bolt, which is 2.4 meters long. The ultimate 2.4 meters holding the hanging wall, which is the running clamp for the roof, and they screw it up just like this up until here. And this part will open like an upside down umbrella, and the roof bolt supports 10 to 12 tons of rock. As we see here in the roof, got a lot of these roof bolts.
Okay, these are the roofers.
Show-offs. Okay, lights down, please. Lights down. At the back, please come closer so that I can see the demonstration. Okay, before electricity was brought down, they were using chisels, canes, and hammers. And my colleague over there, he is doing a demonstration the way they used to work before electricity was brought down. And the candle for light, then the chisel and the hammer. Then they'll be chipping a hole for a dynamite using a chisel and a hammer. Doing that, they can only chip 1 meter deep hole in 8 hours. That's a whole ship.
All correct.
Then up until 1935, when they brought down this machine, it's called the jackhammer.
Dynamite
It works with compressed air and water. And the jackhammer can produce up to 1.6 meters of hole in 5 minutes. But now my colleague is going to do the rock drill demonstration using a jackhammer, and it's very loud. So I'll ask you to close your ears. Please cover your ears. Your ears. Close your ears. Now, while I was in the water, I was spraying to the rock to prevent dust, because dust was their biggest enemy. And that's the reason why the jackhammer is working for. Sure.
So this was a compressed air, huh?
Yeah, compressed air.
This is dispensary.
This is the locomotive train. It's called the Makaranyana with the Fanakalo, and it was also introduced in 1935, and it was working with diesel. Diesel was making too much fumes. In 1940, it was converted to work with electricity, and this locomotive can pull up to 10 cocoa pens, meaning 10 tons. And even now today in operating mines, they are still using the same locomotive, but this one is small. In operating mines, it's more bigger than this one. And right here it is written the Goodman. The reason why this train plays a very important role, because there were 2 men were pushing this copper pen full of 1 ton. Then up until when they brought down the donkeys to pull these copper pens, donkeys were kept underground always, and it was dark because there was no electricity. So unfortunately they took one of the donkey to the surface, and the donkey went blind because the donkey was not used to the sunlight. And that's the reason why the train goes. The map of this mine, Crown Mines 14 shaft, the lowest level is here, which is level 57. It is 3,293.3 meters deep, and that's 10,038 feet. But now we're at level 5. We are here.
Yeah.
Oh.
See, you are right next to the surface, and there are 52 levels below this level. And they used to go down like this. 2 hours for them going down, and they used to work for 8 hours down there, and 2 hours coming up, and that's 12 hours altogether. But they will only get paid for 8 hours, not for the traveling time. But now in this mine, from 19 down to the bottom, all those levels now are full of water. But 20 years back, they discovered level number 19 is also flooded, and now they're pumping the water out to Chimistin and to some other right around Goro City, so that the water cannot rise up to the shaft that it came down.
Okay.
Now I guess we get a point that this mine will never be reopened at all. It will cost them a lot of millions to pump out the water, but there's still a lot of gold remaining in this mine. Like Pisa now, they prefer mining for platinum, because platinum is much more expensive than gold. But in South Africa, we've got 31 operating gold mines.
Okay.
And our emergency exit, if there can be a power failure. We use this incline shaft to go up to the top. It's a 1 hour, 20 minutes walk, 1,400 steps. And the temperature using this incline shaft, it is 28 degrees Celsius. Because this incline shaft is not ventilated. This is the only level that is ventilated in this mine. And the temperature at this level, it is 19 degrees Celsius with the ventilation. But the normal temperature of the level is 28, the same as the incline shaft. But down to the bottom level, it is 48 degrees Celsius. Because every 100 meters is going down, the temperature rises with 1 degree. So now it was very hot down there. But for those who are working at the bottom level, they were working with oxygen mask because there was not enough oxygen. Now, the problem with mines is always water. That's why each and every level, there must be a water pump whereby they must always pump the water out to the surface. So what you see here is a natural groundwater, and this water is coming from the rock, but the water is going down to level number 19. Then from level number 19, the water is pumped out to Chimiskin at our side. But now, you don't drink this water because it's contaminated, it is full of chemicals. Well, if you don't mind, you can just donate something from our colleague. He's been here for 8 hours.
No, they.
Yeah, what's more, please, man, the hip?